It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and we've got a showdown in the AFC South. It's the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
Being located in the Music City, this building has hosted a lot of great music acts since its inception, but this is what she was made for, NFL football, and that's what we have today in Nashville at Nissan Stadium. Today, it's a good matchup in the AFC South between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Set to go now on a beautiful sunny afternoon. And off we go from Nashville. Fields it right around the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. And they'll be let out by their left-handed quarterback.
If you ask coaches at any level to design their ideal leader of a team, I think they're going to check every box with this guy. He's got the poise to handle responsibility. He stays calm under any kind of pressure, and he brings out the best of his teammates each and every week.
Now a play fake here on first down. And incomplete to open things up.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it up to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll look to throw here. Pressure comes, and the Titans able to bring him down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Looking to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Third down is a key down in any game you play, and third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And the Jaguars send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. Fair catch taken just inside the 40-yard line. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now McNair.
And this one nearly picked off. Well, kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
And the Jags, Charles, I think they're on the dime here.
Covering a lot of field.
To throw, McNair. Johnson with a completion over the middle.
And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now McNair looking for a first down throw.
Out to the flat here for Johnson. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look.
Henry up the middle. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, McNair.
He'll drop this down to Johnson underneath. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. Here's McNair. Steps away to his left. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
And they've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Now McNair. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. A great effort there. There to make the grab. And the Titans will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Point after, right down the middle.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
So time to see Jacksonville again on offense for the 2nd time here in this game.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. He'll look to throw. He's airing it out for Williams. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Being chased out left. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lewis. So 8 yards on the completion there, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
On second down, it's Taylor. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line.
The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On play action, they'll throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. 2nd and 13. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Scobie now, kick it away after the made field goal.
Taken at the goal line.
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive.
Well, the football changing hands here, and as this offense takes the field, Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
On 1st and 10, McNair, and Walker with it over the middle.
The time is called. Looks like a member of the Titans in some discomfort out there. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
From the gun, here's McNair. Repeated the last play, finding Walker. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, trying to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Henry running right. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We knew both of these safeties were good in run support, but how about the play we just saw there? How about that closing speed? Able to get to the outside part of the field and turn that play into a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. McNair to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. McNair. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Here's a 2nd and 7.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Jaguars are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go.
They'll start in excellent field position following the INT.
Very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. Quick hitter here, it's complete. So the completion good for 7 there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Let's go do this thing, baby.
They'll look to throw. It's Williams on the catch.
And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
What's the deal, y'all?
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On the draw is Taylor. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Got an extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for third down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's fourth.
Really good coverage all over the field, and it took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
And the Jaguars send out their punter. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here, as this is toward the sideline.
The Titans now just about ready to take over. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a first down. Nothing too fancy, just a carry up the middle, but a successful carry up the middle against this 3-4 defense.
And to be able to do that, what do you have to control? The nose guard, right? Got to be able to move him, otherwise you're not getting anything up the middle. Nice job by the center. Got a little help from one of his friends playing guard.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Again, it's Henry. And some room to maneuver. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It's another first down, as this time they get an even 20.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Out of the gun, it's McNair. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find the answers, and they've got to find them quick.
On first down, it's McNair.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now McNair. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars 14. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Tennessee, and it's the homestanding Titans in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And right side, Henry's got it. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
2nd down and 3, ball on the 7. They'll go option to the short side, and they'll get this from the 8 to the 5, pickup of 3.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. To throw, McNair. Escaping the pressure right. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Point after here coming up. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. It's picked up by the Titans.
So problems compounding themselves here on the return. They just give up the touchdown, and now they lose the football.
Yeah, partner, things are starting to unravel a little bit for them right in front of our eyes. They're going to be looking for some answers, and quickly.
A first down carry for Henry.
48 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams will take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Looking to throw. McNair looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A handoff, running left, Henry. And he is going to lose yardage here. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Back to throw. McNair. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Their mobile, agile quarterback with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Well, they were backed up on 3rd and goal, and when you saw him starting to scramble, my thought process was he'll get what he can and maybe get out of bounds. But he got a little bit greedy there, and in this case, greed was good as he got into the end zone.
Extra point forthcoming. And it's 21-3. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Jaguars offense ready to set up shop here again. The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Again, it's Taylor.
And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. It's picked up by the Titans. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
You remember in preseason we were going to the different training camps and visiting teams, and we always would see the running backs working out and going through those gauntlet drills, and guys either slapping at the ball or the machines. You got to learn to take care of it.
Yeah, they lost it there. Big fumble. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. They'll try the right side with Henry. He finds some open field here. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
73 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field. We just saw that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. They keep it with Henry on 1st down. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
And the next-gen stats shows us the tale of how much yardage he was able to pick up after the initial contact.
Looking to throw. McNair.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. 10th carry now for Derrick Henry. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Derrick Henry, an 8-yard touchdown run.
And the Titans continue to pull away here in this first half.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. A try here for the extra point. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. A drive there of just 4 plays. And Derrick Henry able to finish it off with a touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Taking it about the 1.
On the return, Williams.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here.
Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
A carry by Taylor to start the drive.
And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. He's already put it on the ground once in this first half. There, no gain, just struggling to get going.
Yeah, and what he needs right now, a dose of confidence, which means his guys have to chop a hole, a big one for him, give him a chance to run a little bit and gain some of that confidence back. He didn't get it on that carry.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. It's caught, Smith. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 4.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Back to throw. Forced out to his left. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Good clean play, no flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get him off the field with a 3 and out.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6, and it'll be Titan football. And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. He's in his zone, second quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Here's McNair. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Titans on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 11.
They'll check this down to Johnson.
They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On now is the Titans punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. He'll look to throw.
Well, the corner gets a hand on it, but he still makes the play.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Ooh, partner, that one was close. That one almost turned into 6 points for the guys on defense.
Yeah, because you can jump those out routes, take it the other way.
Yeah, so close, but instead, it turns into a nice play for those guys on offense.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And some space here. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down.
47 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
Eluding the pressure, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12. And this offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. They'll drop to throw. And he hits his target, the tight end Lewis.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
A dime look defensively here for the Titans on 3rd. Looking to throw. Williams brings it in. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 18. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
2nd and 10.
They'll set up a throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Kevin Byard, the Middle Tennessee Blue Raider, gets the sack.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. He connected on his first, this from 41. And his kick is indeed good, and they're back within 3 scores as it's now a 22-point game. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Scobie now to kick it away after the made field goal.
Fields it right around the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. And Derrick Henry and the rest of the Titans offense about ready to roll again.
He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
He doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. On 1st and 10, McNair. And he's got his man in stride, complete. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Now McNair. Johnson with a completion over the middle. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. McNair to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down. Now the Titans will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. On 2nd down, McNair. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios and this EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, a look at the next-gen stats for Jacksonville in that first half, and they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. And meanwhile, for the Titans, they were even better throwing the football. Lots of open receivers to choose from, and you can bet that'll continue to be a focus in the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway.
This fielded right at the goal line.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
The Titans getting set to go here to begin the third quarter.
second half begins with a run by Henry. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. McNair. And he'll hit his tight end, Walker. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. First down, Titans, gain of 12.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They go up the middle with Campbell, and he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards, 2nd down.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 110 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Two first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Back to throw. McNair. Completing it to the right side. Johnson. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Inside handoff, Henry. And he's got room. And this defense not ready for that one, as he'll take this down inside the 25. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game, not just this series that we're watching right now. I know people are screaming worthy adjustments from halftime on the defensive side of the ball. Sometimes they're just not there. Sometimes you just have to find a way to tackle someone.
Now McNair looking for a first down throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. From the gun, here's McNair. And Walker has it. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. McNair. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And it's a Titans touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Titans take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the third quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the result in the end, a Titans touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From the end zone, here comes Williams. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw here. It's Williams on the catch. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Second and 5. He finds his man, complete. It's Brady.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll look to throw again. That is caught. It's Williams. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Now look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Up the middle, here's Taylor. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
They'll set up to throw. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. From 4 yards out.
And the Jaguars' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Let's do this, man. Let's go. Let's ride, dog. All right, go get him now.
Henry up the middle. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Henry will get it. He's been busy today. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
On first down, it's McNair. Over the middle, it's complete.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. On second down, here's Henry. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did, that time for a loss.
To throw, McNair. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Let's go now, let's go. It's all our part, okay?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Running left, it's Henry. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today.
Miles Jack with a big-time hustle play there as he backs the offense up.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do, and right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Walker. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
There's another example where defensive coaches constantly preach, not allowing any run after the catch. They gave up a few more yards than they wanted to, but they were able to get him down quickly and force a 4th down.
On 4th down, Mike Vrabel says, let's get 3 out of this. He sends on the field goal unit. This will be from 49 yards out. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will extend their lead even further.
So after 5 touchdowns offensively, hey, maybe it's time to get the kicker a little work, and he's able to connect there.
I love that empathetic side of you. You're worried about him getting some action, getting to be a part of the game. Well, he got in and got it done.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
From the end zone, here comes Williams. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Jaguars back with it on offense. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
A throw down the field, caught by his running back. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Let's go.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Nashville.
A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
Let's get some rock. You ready to rock?
This offense so far on third down, they're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This time it's 3rd and 3. He'll drop to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
They'll look to throw here. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit, they recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
2nd and 1. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Back to throw now on first down. And complete to Lewis over the middle. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. Gets around him. And he loses the football a 2nd time. And that might be Titan football. It is.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery.
Let's go now. Let's go. Get something together.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
And while they hope to continue this drive, it's really already mission accomplished. They've given enough space now that they have to punt the ball. They've done so with that first run.
2nd down and 7. Now a handoff to Henry. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. Give them 16 yards there, a Tennessee first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
A 20th carry now for Derrick Henry. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, They almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it again with Henry. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Johnson's got it complete. And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker, 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He'll find his man. That's Taylor again. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll drop to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And this one too low.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. And that almost their first INT of the ballgame. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is caught, but they say out of bounds. It would have been a 1st down, but he couldn't stay in, and as a result, they're going to have to give up the football.
Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They'll run up the middle with Campbell. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
McNair. And he'll hit his tight end, Walker.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now McNair, complete. It's Johnson.
And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On the handoff, here's Campbell. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. He covered a lot of ground, great blocking, and now they can sniff that end zone.
They certainly can, and because of that run, maybe you come back and fake it to him on this play and throw a little play action. Someone should break wide open.
Now McNair. Flush to his right. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. A 5-yard touchdown run.
And the Titans start to open this lead even wider here in the 4th. Well, where our booth is here, we can see all of the writers to our left, and their post-game stories, Charles, they have been filed for some time because this game, boy, is it lopsided.
Yeah, we can see our guy Scoop. He's even got his fedora tipped over his face. I think he's taking a nap now. Nothing left to write for him, but how gratifying has it been for them to see what they've done in practice and carry it into a game and see the execution be so good. They've got to feel fantastic about what they've accomplished in this one.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again. Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Buying time to his left. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
Hadn't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Second and 6. Back to throw here. Over the middle to Smith.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. They'll set up a throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Got a man, and he hits him in stride.
And he'll be brought down at the 27.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Now they got to get to the line quickly. They'll look to throw again.
Throwing for Smith on the out route, and it's caught.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. 17 yards there on third down as they pick up a first and 10.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
But we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants this lead to stay right where it is.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. They're going to look to throw. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
Obviously, the scoreboard right now is not the friend of this rookie quarterback, but hey, a touchdown pass there maybe builds a little confidence.
Every rep is valuable when you're a rookie. Every time you step up and throw the football, there's a lesson to be learned. Yeah, he took advantage of a little bit of loose coverage there with the lead, but at the same time, got it done. It'll take a little bit of satisfaction away from that throw.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Johnson won't return this, and the football will come out to the 25. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively.
And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Henry running right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.